Taking a while. Well, good afternoon or good evening if you're in the USA, and if you are overseas, then it is either early in the morning or late at night, depending on which continent. I am Bruce, Mr. Simpler, Faster, Better, or AKA the guy in the blue shirt, as a lot of people know me by. And I am blessed and honored to have Miss Carlotta here, and she's in, where did you say?
I'm in Lexington, South Carolina.
Lexington, South Carolina. I'm sorry, I'm a little foggy because, as I was telling you, I had to change all my travel schedules this week. So it's been a little weird for me. So anyway, glad to have you. And we're going to be talking about all things related to your thoughts on some health issues and some of the transformational work you do with people. So why don't you give people a little bit of background, and we'll just chit chat from there, Carlotta.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Bruce, I have always been into fitness and nutrition since my 20s. In fact, I always tell people I've been juicing and eating organic. Around 26 is when I made that transition.
Oh, wow.
And I just, I became very interested in the fact that I saw people getting better, or they were healthier if they ate better. And the first person that really got me into this was my father. He was having some health issues, and one day he just went, I'm not going to eat meat anymore. And my mother and I thought he was crazy, being that we're Cuban. And she was like, what do I do with all these chicken? Like we lived on a little small farm, and he's like, I don't know, but I'm not eating any more of this stuff. And he was done. And I saw him magically just transform his health. All the issues he was having, the aches in his joints, he came off medications. And so there is truth that let your food be your medicine. There is truth to that. And that's when I was back during that time. I was excuse me a minute. I was studying to be a nurse practitioner, and I was actually in pharmacology school, and I was learning all these things. And so it started, the pieces of the puzzle just started coming together, how important nutrition really is to stay healthy. And so I went on the bandwagon too. I said, well, if I start this early, I'm going to even be healthier later on. So here I am. I think my dad was in his 50s when he made that decision, and my parents are doing in great health, and they're in their 80s. And I'm in my 50s now. So that was over 25 years ago. I'm 55, and I don't feel it. But honestly, it's because I really believe that when you put good things in your body and you eat the way you're supposed to eat, you're going to stay healthy. Now, granted, we all get, you still can get diabetes. You can still get certain of these illnesses, or, the dreaded cancer word. But here's the thing. I'm a diabetic educator. When I first started practicing, I was seeing people come in for diabetes. They were in their 60s, on new onset diabetic, 50s. And they started coming in earlier, until the youngest person I have seen with type 2 diabetes was a 14-year-old. And I didn't really see him. His mother was one of my patients, and she brought up his blood sugars. And she says, is this normal? He's 14 and his sugars run in the 180s.
Wow.
I was like, no, that's not normal. So I had him, make sure she got him to a pediatrician. But that just tells me, because we are now a society that relies heavily on processed food, and we're all in a rush, and usually we have two parents working at home, they're getting home, they got activities with the kids, and they, dinner time winds up being after the ball game. So what do?
Right.
You stop and get fast food, or you go to a restaurant. And that's where it's really affected our children now. And we're all in a rush, and they all eat, these high sugared cereals, and they're having processed foods, and it's affecting our health, the health of our future.
Right. Yeah. And I know, I want to say hi to Gracie Ruth Melendez. Hello, she said. So
hey.
Gracie is actually a team member who works remotely for me on a part-time basis, and we enjoy a lot of common ground. And in fact, I wanted to thank you because I had gotten off track with my supplementation, including taking bioavailable fiber. So this week, knowing I was going to interview you, I said, you know what, I would be a little hypocritical to interview you if I wasn't doing all that I could in my power and simplistically to supplement where, you know, I don't always, like you said, keep a regular habit of the best food or the best timing for that. And, you know, I have a busy travel schedule. So a lot of that's not an excuse. It's just you just have to manage around it. So like you, I've been supplementing and trying to do the right thing since 1994. And people say, well, so what, Bruce? And it's very interesting because my last physical was not so long ago. And my doctor said, how old are you? And I told him, hey, I'm going to be 66. And he said, man, you have a metabolism of a 45-year-old. And it's like, you know, so you know, people don't see the hidden benefits very often. And sometimes it takes, you know, that third party or that separate validation to really know that you're on the right track. You know, I mean, like you, I don't feel my age. I've not felt my age for a long time. I probably look it, but that's because had a pretty stressful last couple of weeks.
Well, and I can help you with that too. We could get into a few things that help you maintain your youth. But, you know, here's the thing though, even with all this, I hear a lot of people will say, they'll tell me, well, I don't like to supplement. I don't believe in supplements. We can get everything we require from our food. And the sad thing is normally I would say, yes, that's the way it was meant to be. But we have overfarmed, overproduce. I mean, we just over fertilize. Our foods are nutritionally bankrupt compared to what we were getting back in the 50s, or even as a child. The nutrition back then was cleaner. You just got more. A cup of spinach would give you all your daily requirement for iron was in 1 cup of spinach, and now it takes, I think, around 40, probably more than 48 or 49 cups. Well, who's going to do that?
The average person is not going to do that. And to add to that, what people don't always understand is that the body, from a historical point of view, wasn't designed to live as long as we are living. And so a lot of the naturally occurring things in our metabolism run out. So that's why I say to people, even if you supplement for the things that are depleting naturally in your body system, you don't have to believe anything else. Just top it up, right? With like, you know, it's like topping your car up with good oil. You know, why wouldn't you do that to keep your motor running real good, right?
Exactly. Well, and because of that, when I realized that early on, you know, I was in around 25, 26, and that's why I started. No, it was 26, and I started juicing. You know, adding juicing to my regimen, and it was, you know, it was that really kept me as healthy as I've been. And then at 47 is when I started noticing something's off, but I couldn't quite figure out what I needed to do, because I was already doing all the right things. I was juicing. I don't eat anything that has hormones or antibiotics. I mean, I was actually vegan for like 8 years, and now I'm we eat about 70% vegetarian, and we'll have, you know, clean meats and, you know, farm raised, have no antibiotics, no hormones. And so I've been doing that. So I was kind of, well, what else am I going to do? I mean, what else can I change? I supplement, I exercise, I do all these things. And that's when I decided to try a nutritional cleansing program that completely took my health to another level. It got rid of all that brain fog and, you know, that tiredness at 2 o'clock and then not being able to sleep at night. So once that got better, I mean, I've been kind of like feeling amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. And it's funny, I always remember the last time I saw Zig Ziglar, and it wasn't before he passed away, he used to say, you know, we become what we eat and think about most, or what we put into our bodies. And he said that most people, we have $1 billion body, but we put junk into it and we expect $1 million results. And it's like, it's illogical, right? It's just like, so Zig Ziglar was a big proponent of doing the right thing, because he didn't even start a lot of people don't know, he didn't start his speaking career until he's 46. So he was like, you know, a real late bloomer, as it were, in the speaking and motivational side of life. So So yeah, he was always fascinating. He was always come up with these Texas, very Southern Texas statements about, you know, what we should or shouldn't do to ourselves. And he was a great guy. Shame he's not with us anymore.
Yes.
But very interesting guy. So
he's very missed. So
yeah, for sure. Well, most of us in our age space know of Zig, and you know, he was a favorite of mine for sure. So he is missed for sure. So what are you seeing? I mean, I know that you're an avid educator, and that was why, you know, I think we came to the conclusion, hey, I should have you on as a guest so that you could provide some education to people that are watching either live or as a replay. So what are the top couple of things you see happening, Carlotta, and what are the top couple of you know, things that people could do like immediately to help with their health?
Here's the thing. People need to slow down and get back to the basics. And I know we're all busy. I have 3 kids. I mean, 2 are grown up now, and my baby's 15. But I remember when they were all home, and I had 2 teenagers and a 6-year-old, and I'm running around and I'm working full time. My husband's working. So how do you make time for exercise? How do you eat healthy when you have all these things? So my advice to people is don't make your family and the kids your excuse, make them the reason. So how do you just do it, but the way you do it is by planning. You should have a schedule. You should have your week planned out. And I don't mean to sound stringent or like, you know, I am very spontaneous, but there's certain things that are non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
One of them is my nutrition. The other is exercise and meditation. Those things, you know, prayer for me, that is the way you start your day.
Yep.
You can't start your day stressed. You know, grabbing your phone and checking emails should not be the way you start your day. And I say that because I've been guilty of it. And when I get into a habit like that, that starts affecting my mindset, which then affects those things that are important. I start letting go of things that I normally would not have let go of. So starting first with slowing down and look at what are those things that are so important to you.
Yeah.
If being healthy is that important, then you got to start with those things that keep you healthy. And to me, prayer, meditation in the morning is non-negotiable. Then having, you know, time to exercise. So if you get to work at 7, when I was going into work at 7, I was, you know, working out either after work or at 5:30 in the morning. So you just pre-plan, and then you schedule for your meals. You know, what can I do to eat healthier?
Right.
Get rid of the fast food. Get rid of the processed foods. You can pre-plan. You know, it takes you maybe 25 minutes to go and buy some chicken and cut up some veggies and do a stir fry and then do some zoodles, or, you know, it takes you 25 or 30 minutes. No, it's not a 15-minute, you know, put it in the oven stofers, but you're getting better food shot from the outside of the grocery store. I always tell people that. And then look at supplementation. Our foods are nutritionally bankrupt, and if you're not going to be juicing 5 or 6 times a day, you should be supplementing. And I still supplement, even if I was juicing that much.
Sure.
For myself, I mean, I found a system that works incredibly well because it allows me to give myself high dense nutrition. I do isogenics. If somebody has questions about it or wants to know more, I'm happy to jump on the phone and show you how that works. But I'm able to, you know, one protein shake is a full meal replacement. And I'll get asked. I mean, most people do protein shake. Oh my gosh, this has too many calories. It has carbs. Oh my gosh. Because they want to do 90 calories. Most people are just really, their focus is, I want to be skinny, I want to lose weight, or this is not a diet. So you should be having calories. You should be having carbohydrates, healthy carbs. That's another thing people should look at. They think right now everybody's focused on no carbs. Carbs are bad. Carbs are not bad. Our body was meant to run on carbohydrates. Carbohydrates break down and they turn to sugar, and that's what our body uses for energy. But if we put too much in, or the wrong kinds, then there's going to be a surplus. So then the rest of that sugar gets stored as fat.
Right.
So if you're eating the right amount of carbs, and they're healthy carbs, not carbs in the form of a peach cobbler or an apple pie, you're good. I mean,
Right.
and then have the right amount. I always tell people 30 to 50 per meal.
Right. Yeah, I'm a zone bar guy. So zone bars are, the healthy balance of carbohydrate, protein, and healthy fat. And then back to your scheduling thing. So I do old-fashioned scheduling. I have this my weight thing, and the reason, particularly for that, is it doesn't require power. You can take it with you anywhere, and it's pocket size. And then to supplement that, I don't have it handy, but I just created what I call a fix-it journal, and it's very guy-centric, and it's because there isn't a lot of guy-centric journals out there. There's a lot of female journals, and that's laid out in such a way that it gives people fast tips, and then record your accomplishments, because that's the other thing. We lose sight of how much we have done in the fury of all this busyness. So if you don't, like you said, if you don't slow down to eventually speed up, so even though my method is called simpler, faster, better, to get there, like you said, you very often have to slow down and figure out what are your priorities, and what are the non-negotiables, right? And making sure your body is in balance should be a non-negotiable as far as you can do it, right?
And you have to have balance. And I also use the old-timey calendar. That's it just works. And being the fact that I also have my own business doing nutrition and doing isogenics, that's something that's duplicatable for people that come on board that want to do what I do.
Sure.
Everybody can buy, a calendar.
Yeah.
And it's easy to follow, and you can see it. And I mean, I also will use my phone to give me alerts, but the calendar is the best way to go.
Right. These are tear off sheets. So, you just tear them off, 1 week at a time. So and I find it helpful for, if I don't have my fix-it journal available, I find it helpful to make notes, and then I transfer my accomplishments over every week. And again, reflecting on what went well and what didn't go so well is a really important piece of the overall process of making improvements, right?
Absolutely. And I also recommend MyFitnessPal is awesome. I have people download that. And then with my program, we also have an app where it'll give you a schedule and you can put everything in there. So yeah, there's so many tools out there. That's really not an excuse why you can't, follow, a good balanced meal and get yourself on a good exercise program. And even if you can just go out and walk for 20 minutes or 10 minutes or just move, just get your body to move. It's the way you're going to stay healthy. It's the way that you're going to stay fit, and you're going to avoid a bunch of illnesses. If you don't take care of your health now, you're going to pay for it later. I mean, you just will.
I agree. Well, as you know, just before we went live, I've changed locations, and part of the choice of where the location should be is that, hey, I wanted the choice to be able to walk to all the essential places. So I can walk to the grocery store, the pharmacy, emergency care. I mean, there's everything in walking distance, because I want the choice of not having to make the excuse to jump in the car to go do it, right? So you can make those choices, but you have to be determined that you want to make the choices for the right reason, right?
Well, you got to hit your bottom. I mean, if you're not healthy right now, when the pain gets great enough, you will be. I mean, you'll be ready to do something. And I always ask people that, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about regaining your health, about losing the weight? Because if you're not serious,
right.
If you're a 5, you're not going to do anything.
Right.
And I really do like to work with people that are 10s that, are really committed. They're committed to making a change. Yeah. Not just kind of curious. Or if you start any type of lifestyle change or program, and you're like, well, I'm going to try for a few months, you're already out of the game. It's not a few months. Being healthy, having a business, whatever you decide to do, you're in. Either you're in or you're out. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't start with, I'm going to try, because
Yeah,
that mentality doesn't work.
Got to turn trying into a commitment, and the commitment requires a plan, as you said, and then you got to go execute on the plan, and then you have to do lessons learned around, well, you know, why didn't I get there, or why didn't I make it, or, you know, what excuse did I come up with? And you know, I've had plenty, like other people, in the last several weeks. I've had plenty of excuses to not do what I signed up for and made commitments to other people to do. But again, it's a choice. You have to decide, is it important, and is your burning platform getting hot enough for you to want to make the change, right?
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Good points.
Well, and some people I talk with, they don't really understand what the burning platform is either, right? So, and it's different for everybody. Everybody's circumstances are unique, and, but there are some similarities. So anyway, Gracie just said, yes, healthy carbs. Good point, yeah. Carlotta. So thank you for that.
And speaking with what you just said, they don't know their burning platform. That goes to, and I'm sure everybody knows Simon Sinek, but you really got to know why. If you don't know why you want to accomplish something, it
ain't gonna happen.
you won't get there. You really have to have that burning desire to, okay, why do I want to be fit? Well, I want to be fit because I want to be healthy, because I want to be here for my kids. Why did I go off on my own and become a professional network marketer? I mean, from nurse practitioner full-time to professional network how in the heck did that happen? Well, when I saw that I could be, you know, that I can create something,
right,
and not be micromanaged, but not only that, be here for my kids and be able to, my why in the beginning was that I can come home and raise my last little kid, my last child. I mean, the other two were pretty much grown up, but when I saw that this was something, and that why became, you know, I have a vision board right here. That became, you know, I wrote those things down, and then I take them down once I accomplish those goals, and I put new ones on. And that's what we have to do in everything, I feel, you know, just why do we want to lose 50 pounds? I'll ask that to somebody, and if they don't know why, if you dig deep enough, you'll find why, because it's in there. They may not be aware, but they know, but they're just not aware of what the why is.
Right. Yeah, I find you talked about vision boards. Most adults are pretty visual thinkers or visual learners, and I had to take mine apart in the move. The board wouldn't fit in the car, and I ran out of space, and so that's my excuse. But I'm going to rebuild a new one, because I have new goals now that, you know, I've had time to, as you said, you know, slowing down a little bit to eventually go faster is, and that's a pretty good, I like to do fast tips with people. So that would actually be my fast tip, which I know you would agree with, is, you know, slow down, think, have a plan, and then go execute purposely, not randomly, right?
Yes. Slow down to speed up.
Slow down to speed up. Even better way to say the fast tip. Thank you, Carlotta. Because I think, you know, I'm into IndyCar racing, so I learn a lot from IndyCar analogies, and I have a little TikTok channel that's just reached the point where I'm going to be able to live stream there soon, when I can figure out how to live stream on TikTok. So that's going to be a new adventure for me, to slow down.
That sounds great. I haven't mastered the TikTok yet. Somewhat. I play with it.
Yeah, I actually, just a complete sidebar, it's an amazing, fast educational platform outside of the cool dance videos, but I'm in like the tips section most of the time, tips and tricks, which is, have to thank Marion Gordon for that. Marion Gordon said, hey, get yourself in the tips and tricks version or sector of TikTok, and you can learn. And I learn so much in 15 or 20 minutes, because most of the little clips are an average of 1 to 3 minutes. So, you know, you can pack in there a lot of tips and tricks from other people if you do just I watch for about 15 minutes a day, usually later in the day. So.
All right. Well, thank you. And hi, Gracie. Nice to meet you.
Oh yeah, she's Gracie's amazing. So So a little story with Gracie. Gracie and I met in person, LinkedIn local Los Angeles about 2 years ago, and it all went from there. And we've continued to do LinkedIn locals virtually during the pandemic. And then, interesting enough, now I'm in Tempe. I met another lady that's based in Surprise, Arizona. I didn't know there was a city. There's actually a city called Surprise, Arizona.
Oh,
so
what a surprise!
Yes. What a surprise. I know. Her name's Mary Vane Van, and we're actually looking to set up a LinkedIn local here in the Phoenix, Arizona or Tempe, Arizona area. So that's going to be fun. So be like deja vu, starting all over again. So
I love that area. Hey, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck. All right. Is Chuck one of your connections?
Yes.
All right. Hey, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm glad he likes the idea of making, having a board up.
Yeah, but I loved your idea about take down your accomplishments, because then it's almost like a visual diary or a visual story of, and then you can add new ones as your board empties out. I'm sure that's what you do, right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
That's good. Yeah, you're a continual learner, I can tell.
Well, you got to always be growing and learning. You never stop.
Absolutely. You cannot, otherwise you're going to go backwards, particularly in today's fast-paced economy and fast-paced lifestyle. Even the pandemic has made it even more fast-paced in many ways. So
it has.
Yep.
And that's another reason to stay healthy. If you're staying healthy, you're going to boost your immune system's going to be up. So
yep. Yeah, let your mind, body, and soul go to work for you alongside all the other things, right?
Yeah. Another reason I believe in supplementing and in what I do is because it really does help improve your immune system and ward off, diseases. If you're staying in your best possible health, you're not, you're less prone to get sick. And if you do get sick, it won't knock you down as hard.
Yeah, I find my bounce back rate is way faster. And I can tell when I've gotten off track with my supplementation routine, because if I feel a little off, my bounce back rate is slower. So for me, it helps with the bounce back rate. You can't always be in absolute perfect health, but so for me, that's the big, I don't like being sick like most people. So
I don't think anybody likes to be sick. I don't like it at all. But, and speaking of, getting off your regimens and stuff, find something that's simple. Don't overcomplicate what you want to do to be healthy, because then you can't stick with it. And that's what I was saying. I believe in juicing and eating organic and all these things, and I do that. But when I was working full time, and I didn't have my own business where I had, had more time for me, I just didn't have time to juice 4 or 5 times a day. I didn't. I had to be at work seeing patients at 7 a.m. So find something that simplifies, getting your nutrition in. And that's where my program does amazing. And if anybody even wants to be in a great group, and you're on Facebook. I know a lot of people don't do Facebook, but I have a private nutrition coaching page on that platform with great recipes, tips, inspiration. Cool. And so people can go in there. I have some people just go in and say, I feel like, they'll just say, I want to go have a candy bar right now. And I know I shouldn't, they'll say, and it kind of just bringing that and being honest helps so many people just, get that out and say, okay, I got it out. Now I don't feel like doing it. I'm not going to go cheat or go. Yeah.
The guilty, I call him Chipmunk Charlie. My negative voice is, we all
have it.
Well, my positive guy voice is Alexander. So he's always like telling Chipmunk Charlie to go take a vacation, or worse, sometimes he'll. So that's, so how do people find the Facebook group? I was going to ask you, if you got.
I posted my link tree on there, but if you connect with me, you can find my Facebook profile, all my profiles on the link tree, or you can just send me a friend request. It's Carlotta 𝑚_Davis on Facebook, and you have to be connected because it's a private group, so I have to add people in there. But connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn, and I'm happy to share more with you. And Chuck is actually on my program. He's done amazing.
All right. Way to go, Chuck. So do you have any before and after pictures or testimonials, Chuck? You can throw things in here after we finish live. You can just
I think
do that if you like.
He's like a few months in, but I can definitely throw some pictures, and he can if he wants to. Some people do, but you can see all those testimonials on my private coaching group, and I'm happy to put some on the, on the comments.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can go back there, and if you can add them raw, or you can just add #replay and add them in, and then people know it's come after the live conversation. So yeah, so like you're a process lady, I'm a process guy. I have a different process, but it's funny how we're more alike than we are disalike, and people I always learn so much through my live guests, and that's why I love to do it. And hopefully they learn a little bit about the way I think and the way that I look at processes too. So all right. Well, awesome job. I know you're
having me.
I know you're a busy lady. You already said. So yeah, thanks for being on, and thanks for being flexible on the timing, because as I said, I was supposed to be in the UK, but I'm not. So thanks for figuring all that out with me so that we could still get to talk today. And yeah, if you're seeing this as a replay, don't hesitate to put questions in there for Carlotta, or you can ask questions of me or us both, or you can reach out and connect with her. And you're pretty active on LinkedIn. I do know that, because that's how we were keeping in contact.
I am. I'm active on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So I'm on there, but I'm more active on this platform and then Facebook.
Okay.
I actually started my business on Facebook. So
awesome. You have a YouTube channel or not?
No, I don't.
No. Okay. Well,
that might be next.
You will be famous on YouTube tomorrow, because we're also streaming live to YouTube. So that will get you going out on YouTube.
All right. Perfect.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So thanks everyone. Thanks Gracie, Chuck.
Thanks
anyone
for
else?
having me.
Yeah. And if you'd like to hang for a minute, take care. Good night.